Hello and welcome to episode 41 of Working Class Nerds. I'm your host, Nick. Joining me as always is my lovely sidekick, Marcus. And today we're going to be talking about PAX EAST 2019. We went. It was awesome. And Marcus is looking at me like I'm a crazy person.
You can't.
All right, fine. We'll do the regular intro. Cue the music.
Hi, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
And we are Working Class Nerds.
For the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. You can find this I'm Rich and So to our podcast on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, and of course, workingclassnerds.com. You can find me on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern. That's NickVern. And this week's episode, we're talking about PAX EAST.
What up? Isn't it PAX EAST 2019 officially?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. PAX EAST 2019.
And we had some serious fun at PAX EAST. We had a meetup. We did a bunch of stuff, but let's get into it. So, Nick, I know you went to PAX EAST, but what else happened to you this week?
So my PAX EAST trip up to Beantown was bookended by an exam on Friday right before we went, and then two on the back end afterwards, which neither of which were very fun.
But the one on Friday is pretty sweet because you go in there, you take the test, and then you leave, and you're like, oh, I'm done.
Right. Well, that was pretty nice. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to save all my PAX EAST goodies for when we actually talk about the games. But I did some stuff. So Marcus and I were both there Friday and Saturday. And then Marcus left Saturday evening because he had to go do family stuff.
Disney on Ice.
Exactly. So then my buddy Al and friend of the podcast, he came up Saturday night, and then we went to PAX by ourselves Sunday. Sunday morning, before we went to PAX, we went to this crazy soccer event, which I'd like to talk about. So NBC Sports, the television broadcasters that run the Premier League, they were hosting this Premier League Mornings Live event at the Cask and Flag over by Fenway. And Al and I are both Liverpool supporters. Him slightly longer than me. I'm new to the Premier League game.
Yuck.
But anywho, they had people inside the bar, and they were broadcasting all the halftime analysis and pregame analysis stuff from the Cask and Flagon, and then they had this giant block party. So they closed down all of Lansdowne Street outside of Cask and Flagon, where they had, I think it was 4,000 people or something like that. They
for
had
a Liverpool game?
No, it was they had it Saturday and Sunday. So they had all the Saturday games, which I think there was 10 or 12 of them or something like that. And then they had the Chelsea-Cardiff game in the morning. And then I think that started at 8:30 or 9. And then the Liverpool versus Tottenham game started at 11:30. So we only went Sunday because Al and I only really wanted to see the Liverpool game. But we got there early for the Chelsea game just to get a good spot in front of the screens and stuff because the place was packed. And then we, once the Liverpool game rolled around, all the Chelsea fans left, and it was just Liverpool and Tottenham fans. But fun fact, Liverpool is owned by the same person that owns the Red Sox. So, John Henry?
Yeah, duh.
Well, I didn't really realize. I mean, I realized it prior to going to this, but I had only learned that a month ago. And long story short, there was probably 15 Liverpool fans and 4,000 minus 15. Or sorry, there's 15 Tottenham fans, and the rest were Liverpool fans. It was a sea of Liverpool red. It was great.
Well, yeah.
It was awesome.
It's basically you were in Liverpool Stadium being in Boston.
No, literally. So they had this giant screen. It was probably 30 feet by 20 feet or something, and, a regular aspect ratio. But they were pumping in all the stadium sounds and crowd noise from Anfield, Liverpool Stadium. So all the songs and stuff, we could sing along with the stadium crowd, which was pretty awesome. So I didn't know all the words, admittedly, but I learned them by the end of the game.
Well, alcohol helps, too.
Right. I actually wasn't drinking. Well, because you couldn't get into the Cask and Flagon unless you had a VIP pass or whatever.
And they weren't serving booze on the streets?
Negatory. They should have.
I got nothing.
I know, right? Isn't that lame? I feel like they would have pumped it up a little more. But, like, it also would have sucked to try and get in and out of that crowd, like, while you were drinking. Because it was like you were packed in like sardines for, like, viewing spots. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, it was epic. Liverpool ended up winning. That game meant a lot for the season because they were number 2. Winning that game put them at the number 1 spot in the table. For those of you who don't know how the Premier League works, I didn't, prior to starting to follow this, there's no playoffs, so wherever you lie seeding-wise at the end of the season is just how it is. So whoever's number 1 wins the whole thing. But, anywho, you could take pictures with the trophy, the Premier League trophy. You could see the mascots and take photos with them, which of course we did. You could get a temporary tattoo of your club's logo or whatever.
Arsenal.
Well, Liverpool for me. I didn't get one, but the line was too long. They had people doing like soccer tricks there, like juggling the ball back and forth and passing it to each other, like in the air.
So basically it was just you went to a soccer game, but not in England because it's so basically you went to a sporting event. It was just
instead of seeing it on the field in front of you, they had a giant screen for you to
so
see
they basically did everything they can to accommodate their fans.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 would go again. Aside from PAX stuff that I want to talk about later, that's pretty much it for me. So Marcus, what have you been up to the past couple of weeks?
I have 100 million credits.
Oh, you got paid.
Yeah, so Monday. So we're recording on Wednesday, which is really going to mess me up tomorrow because I'm going to be thinking tomorrow's Friday morning when I wake up, and it's really Thursday.
Well, it's because tomorrow's my birthday, and I was being a bit of a princess and didn't want to do anything other than birthday stuff.
I don't understand what's birthday stuff. Like, let's break this down real quick because I want to know what defines birthday stuff. Like, okay, you're going to sit in bed, you're going to sleep in a little, you're going to rub one out, and then what?
Well,
go out to lunch, go out to dinner.
I mean, I do have
a drink or two.
I do have the best girlfriend ever, so she's going to stay over.
Well, okay, so she's whatever. She's going to do whatever. But my point is what in birthday I still don't know what birthday stuff. You're going to go out.
I just want to. I like to have a freed up schedule to do whatever I feel like doing, if that makes sense. So, like, I can't literally do that because I have to do homework and stuff. But I'm trying to get that out of the way quickly, and then I can just like actually play video games for the first time. Besides at PAX, for the first time in like a few weeks, or watch Game of Thrones, season 7 stuff. I just want to have. It's nice to have the day free to do what you feel like doing, even if it ends up not being a whole lot.
So going back to these 100 million credits, it actually looks pretty good because I took a screenshot of it and it made me feel good. So
yeah, it's a lot of zeros.
Medulla, he bet me a while ago that he's like, oh, I found out that there's a hidden boss in the game. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, everybody needs to be wearing a mask. You need to augment them. You need to put gear on them. Then you have to clear the first couple bosses of Terror from Beyond. And once you do that, then you can fight this thing. And you get the amulet. And you need more than one amulet unless you get it the same night. But we didn't get it the same night.
Right.
So then you take that amulet and you go fight this boss. So we went and fought this boss. And it was awesome because we had members from AIE, the Bad Feeling Podcast, Porg Team, and a few of the members from the New Outriders, Intisar, who we met at PAX East.
Oh, yeah. Great dude.
Yeah, great dude. And so we went and did it, and the night before we went, Medulla mailed me the 100 million credits, which was fucking amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he paid up, and
good on him.
Now here comes the greed in me, because as soon as I was like, I want 100 million bucks, I said to him, what's the next thing I can do that's going to give me 100 million credits? And he's like, you get 200 million and then give me 100 million back. I'm like, fuck. There's got to be some other way to do it. So anyway,
how much money could Medulla possibly have in SWTOR?
He has $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, but it's still a lot. Like 10% of what he has is a lot.
I think he was just thought I could never do it. You don't think he actually ever thought of like needing to give you that? Well, that or he just was like, fuck it, I'm never going to spend all this money. Might as well do something fun with it and be involved. Or he didn't realize that I'm like
so ambitious.
Yeah,
and
you can't challenge me to something and not expect me to do it.
Right.
Like I will succeed.
Right.
and that'll become my focus. Like, don't fucking challenge me. Right?
Right.
So anyway, so we went and did the Dreadful Entity. We had 2 amulets. Oh, my God. You don't even know about this.
Oh, well, I know.
I told you about the fucking douchebag?
Yeah.
So, Exalti from the something Dark Side Guild, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Okay?
I heard the story.
So what happened was, and I'm sorry for being so vulgar, but I'm angry about this.
Yeah.
So we had 23 or 22 people to do the 10-stack Dreadtooth. Everybody in the group knew that the amulet was mine. So we were too short. 2 guys came off Kogus' stream to play. On Kogus' stream, he was like, hey, the amulet is Marcus's, don't take it.
Right.
There's something in when you're the raid leader, you can make a master loot thing where I get all the gear. Nobody can get gear, and then I pass it out to whoever I want to.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, everybody in the group knows me, and nobody's going to do that to me, right?
Right.
Like, and I want everybody, I don't want to have to pass out a mask to people. You know what I mean? Or have them roll for it or anything like that. So I just did it. So everybody greeted on this amulet except this one guy. And so I basically had a 50-50 shot of winning the amulet, and this guy won it. Max offered him like 10 or 16 million credits, and the guy just logged off. Like, what a douchebag, right? Like, that was the 3rd one. So we went to do fast forward now. We have 2 amulets. We go do the Dreadful Entity, and we wiped the first time because everybody's trying to like learn the fight. Like, it's basically a kite fight. Like the tanks drag this guy in fucking loops and goes around. And he drops these big lightning spots. Like, Nick, don't stand in the lightning. You would have been dead.
Right. I'm terrible at that.
Yeah. And so the first time we saw it, we started to get it. So we wiped. Now we only have 1 more amulet.
Right.
So now we take that amulet and now we have to go to do it again. So we take the 2nd amulet, we get the boss down to 3%.
Oh, no.
And we fucking wiped.
That's terrible.
Death Row. So Guildy, Death Row, in the AIE guild, was in this Max's stream or Kogus' stream. One of the streams he was in, and he's like, I have another amulet. So, but now somebody has to leave the group.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
And it sucks. And this guy was like, and was like, are you a ranged DPS or a melee DPS? The guy's like, I'm ranged. He's like, well, then I'm going to go because you guys need to do this. And I'm a melee, and clearly we're not going to. No, we don't have another amulet.
Right.
So Theo, he's on the Bad Feeling Porg team. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Theo.
Yeah, it
MVP
means a
Theo.
lot. So we beat him. There's some crazy screenshots all over Twitter from all of us, which I'm sure you've seen. I got a new title that says Dread Slayer, which is pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dread Slayer.
Yeah. So we did that.
Sounds like a Halo kill streak.
Exactly. Yeah, Dread Slayer.
Dread Slayer.
So, in Death Star Trooper news, we finally got caught a break, and everybody is meshing, learning the fights. So we've officially very easily gotten through the first 3 fights of Dread Fortress, and we actually got some good time on Corruptor Zero, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And learning the mechanics is a little wonky, we'll call it. Doc Sotor, he's such a perfectionist, man. He's funny. He's such a perfectionist when it comes to styles of play.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I don't think the way we're doing this is right. And we were like, we're going to try it. And either way, it worked out. We did not win. But that's okay. The last thing I want to talk about with the games I've been playing before we dive into PAX East. Let me tell you something. Apex Legends. Okay?
Marcus is hooked.
Yeah, so I wanted to play Anthem. I want to play a lot of games.
Yeah.
But I needed that fix. And everybody's going to make fun of me now. Here it comes. I still love Call of Duty.
Well, yeah.
But
it's a classic game.
Yeah, but I don't like what Call of Duty is now. Like running on the walls like Titanfall or double jumps and like Call of Duty is now Halo.
Yeah, but like more so even. Halo,
Right.
you could just jump high.
And like
Call of Duty,
and
it's
like
like
the calling
it was
calling
worse.
the drone strikes and like take the robocar and like I get all that, but I'm over it.
Right.
Like give me, what was it, Call of Duty World War II,
Yeah.
where they like reverted back. That was actually good because there was no more fucking double jump and all that shit. Like nobody actually wants that anymore. Everybody's over the modern warfare.
Yeah, or post-modern warfare, I guess.
Either way,
Like modern, like minus the jetpacks and super jump stuff, basically.
right. So
Yeah.
I've been hooked on it. I've probably played 3 hours on the computer, or 2.5 hours on the computer, and 3 hours on the PlayStation, and I still don't have a kill.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I do not either.
But it's really fun, and you can go in and play 2 or 3 matches, even though you don't get a kill. Still get that little like video game itch,
Right.
and enjoy it. So I'm really enjoying Apex Legends.
That's awesome.
A lot, and it's really truly free. Like I've spent no money on it, and I'm enjoying the game. And the other thing that I do like about it is when the match starts, like it doesn't matter. Everybody has no gun.
Right.
So nobody has armor. Nobody has nothing. It's not like Call of Duty where,
If
when you're a level 50 golden star in Modern Warfare 2, you got prestige 50. You've got the golden guns that it's one less bullet it takes to kill you or
Right.
whatever. It's everybody's on this level playing field when they land.
Right.
And it's hard as shit to kill somebody.
Right.
And all these players are just way better than me. I'm hoping they make like 2 queues, like almost like Rainbow Six Siege, where you can do
it's like
ranked,
casual and ranked.
casual and ranked, where like it gives the guys like me an opportunity to like be able to kill somebody and put all
Yeah.
like the seasoned veterans in the seasoned matches, because some of the guys are just insane.
Yeah.
Like I blasted a guy 100 times. It seemed like I think I did like 80 damage on the guy, and he shot me once and I was dead.
Yeah.
Like literally shot once dead, and I was like, wow, that's
Probably headshot or something and had like a better gun or whatever. I don't know what the deal is.
so.
I'm also terrible at it. So
All right, but I'm really enjoying it. So before we dive into the PAX East stuff, I just want to say we did an AIE meetup.
Yes, that was great.
So we went to this restaurant.
This was Friday night. We went to PAX the one day, and then Friday night we had the AIE meetup plus Airy.
Yeah, plus Airy. And so Zen, Corley, B-Cavs, myself and Nick and Airy, we all went out to eat. It was awesome because Corley got to the city a little early, and he came up to our hotel room and just hung out with us for an hour.
Yeah,
and
we were just chatting.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was so comfortable sitting in that chair with my feet up on the bed. I was just like, wow, this is so great. And everybody's like, are we going to leave? And I'm like, in a minute. Like, I don't get to sit down.
Yeah, Marcus was just lounging, and it was like,
yeah,
we were supposed to meet up at 6:30, 6:30 past, 6:35.
Well, I think, Zen was like, I'm running late. B-Cavs was, I'm running late. So I'm like, why the hell are we going to rush there?
Right.
And Airy was shopping like crazy on Mass Ave. So, like,
she was like doing her own thing. She's
Yeah.
like, I'll show up when I know you guys are all there already.
exactly. So it worked out well.
Yeah.
But
I think the highlight.
it was after.
Well, no, yes, but I was gonna say, Zen. So we all just showed up in normal, standard issue clothing. Zen went the full SWTOR experience and had full Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi robes, plus his crazy custom Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber.
Well, no, it was like a Zen lightsaber. It was custom made. Like it's not.
Yeah, but it was
his.
modeled after Obi-Wan's.
Oh,
so it was
I didn't get that memo.
Yeah. So but it wasn't just like an Ultra Saber or similar companies online where it's a prefabbed one and they make a gazillion of them.
No, it was custom made.
Right. It was custom made by a sabersmith. First of all, I didn't even know that occupation still existed, because who the hell needs to buy a sword anymore? I guess Zen does. But it was the way he was describing it to me, that all the random pipe pieces and odds and ends that they made the actual model for the original 1977 movie to make the lightsaber hilt, that's what the sabersmith used to form Zen's lightsaber hilt. And then the sabersmith or somebody put a crazy microchip in there and all the lights so that it made the sounds and had motion sensors and made all the appropriate sounds, and then you could drag it on the ground and it would cackle it was cutting through something, or Yeah, you could like put it on like deflection mode, and it would make sounds like it was deflecting blaster bolts. It was crazy.
It was so crazy, but the best part of the whole thing is, so during dinner he was pushing buttons, and we're all having a couple drinks, and we ordered our food, and everything is calm, and all of a sudden he hits the button, and like just this like one little flash of white light comes out, and we were like, "Oh my god, that was so bright!"
'Cause it was a dark bar, basically.
Right, and then all of a sudden he lights it blue. I swear, it lit up the entire goddamn restaurant, and every single person in the whole place is head started and was like, "Oh my god!" But that wasn't even the so. The restaurant we went to was loud.
Yeah.
It was definitely loud, and it was fun. And the funniest part is when we were all leaving, so we were all going back to our hotel room.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so Nick, what do five gamers do at night after you go out to dinner and have a couple drinks?
In Boston. City.
Yeah, in a great city.
So many activities to do. What do we choose to do? Go back to the hotel room and all play SOTOR together.
So there's a video I have of all of us just sitting around with our laptops out. It was pretty funny because me, Zen, and B-Cavs have the Alienware. And
right.
We were at the restaurant so long, poor Corley had to leave early because his train was going back home.
Right.
We were trying to get him to stay the night, but he wasn't having it.
Yeah.
But we ended up playing SOTOR until like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. And
I couldn't stay up. I had been up since 5 in the morning because I had an exam that morning and then drove in. So, the exam was at 7 a.m. So yeah, I think I fell asleep somewhere between like 12:30 and 1, maybe like 12:45.
Oh yeah, you were out cold.
And I took like a 20-minute, 30-minute power nap, and then by like 1:30ish, people were packing up, and I was like, "Huh? What's happening?"
Yeah. But either way, it was awesome, and Star Wars Celebration is coming, and I know Max is hosting another AIE meetup. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but if you're going to be at Star Wars Celebration, please make sure you get a hold of Max, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And if all this sounds fun to you,
go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, get the info, see if you can look for an officer. I'm doing this entire read from memory, so hopefully I don't screw it up, but I know if you're looking for an officer, jump in the, LFO, looking for officer chat. B-Cavs talked to me over the weekend, and in his, gentlemanly Australian accent, explicitly stated that he loves inviting people to the guild.
He said he loves it.
Just send them all my way, he said. I'm not going to try to do his accent. But, so, go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, get the looking for officer, and ask specifically for B-Cavs. He's just the best at guild invites. And
one last thing, when we were out to dinner, have you ever gone out to dinner with two Australians and then hear them say, "Now this is a knife," live? Man, that made my day. But anyways, please get somebody to get you in our
guild.
Yeah, because we have so much fun with all the games we play. And now, even if you play Apex Legends, come join, and we'll create a Nomad in the Nomads channel. We'll talk about Apex Legends, because I'm sure people are. I just haven't even dove in because I feel like I have to
get a kill first.
I have to get a kill. I feel like once I get a kill, I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'll be okay. But it's like getting your first win in paintball.
Yeah, you gotta get a win.
Yeah, once you get one, it's just it's on.
Right,
like you figured it out.
Right.
But man, dying sucks.
Dying definitely sucks.
Do you have to pee?
I always have to be.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. So today we're discussing all the stuff we saw at PAX EAST.
2019.
PAX EAST 2019.
The first thing I got to say is we got new mics.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed any sound difference. Hopefully it sounds better. Hopefully we didn't screw it up. We only spent about 2 hours trying to get it to work, only to resort to just each of us recording our own Audacity files.
The problem is, okay, so we bought these whatever
Audio-Technica mics.
Yeah, and
from the lovely people at the Audio-Technica booth at PAX EAST.
And we were debating on what we were going to get, and when we walked by, we started talking to them, and I bought Audio-Technica headphones, and I fucking love them.
Yeah, mine are too. I like mine a lot.
And so we talked to the guy for probably half an hour, and he suggested this one mic. It's basically like a Shure mic, but it's Audio-Technica. But anyway, I'm rambling. The problem we have now is we don't have an actual mixer.
Right.
So we tried to use a digital mixer, and we're getting these crazy echoes and
from the mixer, because it's like a delay. Like
right.
You hear your own audio like a half a second after you say it, as opposed to like immediately. So it's like it's really, you can't talk like that. You know, it messes it messes with you. But it's, I think if we get a physical mixer and then our own headphone output back out at us, it should be fine.
I think that's the biggest thing is everything will be able to be controlled right on a board.
Right. And we can
I think that's the next thing. So if you're listening to the show and you're good at this stuff, please let us know, because pretty soon we're going to have some guests on the show. And right now, the way we're recording, we could never have a guest.
Right. We'd have to go back to the
Yeti. And I don't ever want to go back because
hopefully this sounds better.
Well, we hope.
We hope. We haven't actually listened to the playback yet.
No, we don't even know if this is working. Anyway, so I'll start, Nick, with... So I went to PAX East, and there was one game that I wanted. And I talked about it last episode a little.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat 11.
That's Mortal Kombat! Sorry, I don't want to wake up your whole house.
Yeah, it's so funny. Nick is so... I want to say the word anal, but it's like, stop fucking with your mic.
Dude, so yeah, not only did we get mics, we got like the podcasting setup. So we've got these like clamping like arm boom thingies that like you can swivel it around. So I'm like, oh, I have options. I'm like, is this going to be better in front of my face? Like, oh, no, it's too high. Now I can kind of, it's like blocking my eyes or whatever.
Right, and I haven't moved mine. Anyway,
yeah.
So back to Mortal Kombat 11. So that's all I wanted to play. And the first day at the show, we were, I don't want to say the word overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's not...
But there was just so much to see, so like we wanted to kind of... It was more of a surface level sort of viewing, like, and we had gotten up there. We only had like 3 or 4 hours as opposed to like 6 or so on Saturday.
Right. And so we were there, and all I wanted to play was Mortal Kombat 11, and I didn't even see that it was on the PlayStation or anything else. So we ended up playing it on the Switch, which I thought it was pretty cool that they had it on the Switch.
Right.
And I enjoyed it, and I got my fix of it, but it was...
it's not the same on the Switch.
I was going to say, well, a handheld is not. Maybe if it was on a TV and it was like in 1080p and it was crisp.
Yeah, just with the Switch controllers, that would be fine.
Yeah, but I don't know, I don't know how it translates, because I don't know if they can do the same things like a PlayStation 4 can do on a Switch.
Right.
I'm not sure. But either way, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for April 24th.
I'm definitely going to buy it.
Yeah, I'm definitely...
I know Marcus was, and I was on the fence. So I played it on the Switch with Marcus on Friday or Saturday, whichever day. I think Saturday. And then when I went back with Al, I found that you could play it on the PS4, but you needed a reservation because it was so crazy busy.
No, we figured that out on Saturday,
that's
but
right.
It was already full.
It was, yeah, everything was full for the day, so we were kind of shit out of luck. So then comes Sunday with Al, I made the reservation on time appropriately. And then but when we got to PAX, him and I played it, and it was much better on a PS4. Just because, like, the Switch controller's fine, but the PS4 controller's like a real controller. And I was playing on like a big TV, so I could actually
you played
see
it
everything.
the way, it was meant to be played the way you were playing it.
Right. It was legit. So, and what was cool is Marcus and I played Mortal Kombat 10. It was like the deluxe edition or something when we were screwing around on Saturday just looking for something to play quick. So I got like a real true comparison between the two. And Mortal Kombat 11 is obviously much better, but like the graphics are better, like the fatalities are really cool. I'm not typically a fighter guy, but like to go on and just jam for a little bit, it would be really fun, especially if we get together before the show or whatever.
Well, like tonight we played Apex Legends while we were setting up stuff for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, like one person would be playing, and then the other one would set up.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Forth.
So for all of that was fun. I'm super excited for Mortal Kombat 11. The hard part for me now...
Oh, hey, Siri. Welcome to the show. We did have a guest today.
So I don't know if... Like, I want to get it for my computer, but I don't know if my computer is going to make it look that much better.
Right. Versus the PS4 Pro.
Right. I don't think I'm going to get that much graphical difference, but I do want to get it on the PlayStation because then I know Doc Sotor is going to get it, Al will probably get it, and you get it. And then, even if it's once a day or every couple of days, even just a couple matches, you can get your fix out of it.
Right. You can run through that in like 10-15 minutes. You get 2-3 matches.
And then podcast day becomes, let's battle a couple times in Mortal Kombat before we
start recording.
Exactly.
Right.
What else did we play?
We played a bunch of games. Do you want to start going through the stuff we have sound bites for?
Sure. So we're going to go through some of these games. We'll let you know if we actually played them. Some of them we didn't because the lines were crazy, but they looked really good.
Right.
And we ended up talking to some of the developers. At the end of the show, before our end credits, we'll play back all of the sound bites that we got, like we did last year.
Yeah.
And then, if you guys can hear it directly from the developers what their game is, because we're probably going to
butcher it.
Absolutely.
So first one that we came across, there's a pretty large booth they had set up. It was on PCs at the show. It was called Lost Islands by Jolly Roger. It is a large-scale multiplayer online cold weapon survival game.
Yeah, so it's a battle royale.
And it's a battle royale.
Yeah, so it's a battle royale. You're like samurais.
Yeah.
In it, there's no guns. It's like swords, so you're like chop people down, but the
swords and like samurai stuff or like medieval-y things, I think too. So like swords and shields and
but like
spears.
No guns.
Yeah.
But what was
cool, it says set in the 17th century.
Yeah, so what was really sweet about this is you don't actually have to kill somebody to win.
Right.
All you need to do is make it to the boat and get off the island.
Right. So the goal is to get gold, which you can just find if you want. You know what I mean? Or like look for treasure maps, I think is part of the deal.
Right.
And then you get gold, and then you can pay to get on the boat and leave. But you need gold to get on the boat and leave. So, or you can kill people who have already found gold and leave, but you don't need to, which is cool.
Right.
It's like play your own way battle royale.
Right. And what I liked about it is it took that battle royale to the next level where if you just want to like sneak through trees for 20 minutes and you make it to that boat, you win.
Right.
You're going to win.
Right.
Because and that's the next thing is if let's say it's a 60-person map, I don't know what it was, if 60 people just sneak around and don't kill anybody, 60 people can win that match.
Right.
You don't have to kill somebody.
That's pretty cool because all the battle royales that I know of now, you have to like be killing people and like there's a winner and
Oh, people were definitely killing each other. I was watching it.
Oh yeah, there was Murder Town
everywhere. The next game we played was called Endless Mission. So it had like a Minecraft graphic. And it was based off levels. So basically, waves of enemies would come, and as the levels go, you gain like special abilities.
Yeah.
And I think they said it was like you're in the construct of a game.
I didn't really get the game, and then they said the developer said that the main sort of like action of the game is to hack through things, which I thought you meant like hack into a computer. Mm-hmm. And then I started playing the game and I realized no, it's like you're like hitting stuff with a sword, like hacking.
Right,
through
it's
things.
like the Minecraft sword.
Right, it looks a lot like Minecraft. The point of view is a lot like Minecraft. Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, it's basically like a horde survival game where you're fighting these like blocky soldier thingies that come after you.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
Yeah,
but,
it was entertaining for like the demo we played.
Yeah, I'd play the demo. I don't think I would buy it,
right?
Unless it was something like me and you could do co-op,
right?
And it was on Steam, and I was like, "Hey, I just bought this. Let's play and plug in the two controllers like we did for Castle Crashers,
right? And then
go, perfect."
Yeah. So the next game that we saw was called Vigil: The Longest Night. This is a 2D side-scroller. It was kind of like a Metroidvania type of thing.
Yep.
Did you get to play this one? I believe this was Vlad's game, right? I don't remember precisely.
Yes. So Vlad works for the developer. Did you say it was from Taiwan or Korea?
I think it was Taiwan.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
Thailand,
maybe. I don't know. Well, anyways, he was an awesome dude. What we found is a lot of these indie games that we saw were like, we want to be like Dark Souls and make uber hard content, and a lot of games were like comparing themselves to
Dark Souls,
which, yeah, I think that's cool. Like, so many games now are just open to you just
dying a lot, not really explaining a whole lot to you.
Well, no, not even just that. Like, I find a lot of games, it's either they're really difficult or they're really easy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a middle ground anymore.
Yeah, I found that too.
But the Vigil, the longest night, it looked good. We did not get to play it. The line was long, but our eyes went right to it, and we started talking to them and go. The next game was Death's Gambit. Death's Gambit is a challenging 2D action platformer with deep RPG elements. As an agent of death bound to his service, unravel the mystery of the Shadowrun.
Come on, there's no H in there. Unravel the mystery of Cyrodiil and discover the true prince of immortality.
So I loved this game. I played it for a while.
I don't think I played it.
So it
I must have been pooping.
It was
something.
it was like a Castlevania Symphony of the Night feel, but slower movement in 8-bit. I would say it was 8-bit or maybe 16-bit.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely 16-bit. A lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun playing this. This was at the booth where it was like the Walking Dead game where you were playing that, and there was a few
right. Yeah, it was right on the. It was in the same booth. It was
in
like
the
PlayStation.
Side. It was in like the PlayStation section.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, when Nick and I go to PAX, we play the indie games.
Right.
Because I feel like, well, one, I don't want to wait in line for an hour to play a game, which I would have waited an hour to play Mortal Kombat. But other than that, there was nothing there that I was like, I have to wait in line for an hour to play.
Right.
But we play so many indie games, and it's an opportunity to, most of these indie games are $10, $20 max.
Right. And
if you can play them, it's really good.
And try them out, and then support the developers that you just met. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
So the next thing that we saw, it actually wasn't precisely a game. We could play a game on it. It was more like Frogger, but so Red, who's traditionally, I believe, a camera company,
it is,
was showing off their Red Hydrogen 1 smartphone, which has this crazy 3D display. So normally, I think 3D displays are a little bit cheesy, or like I don't like 3D movies either. But I thought this was really well done. So it was a phone, and it had this intro video that was all about. Marcus just pulled out another game we're going to talk about in a second. I forgot he bought it. But anyways, Red Hydrogen. This phone has 3D built into the screen, and it's even better than like the Nintendo's 3DS.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable.
We saw like a 5-minute demo video that was showing off like movie clips and stuff, and that was incredible. And then we played like a Frogger style game that had the same technology, and it was unbelievable. I'd imagine we're gonna get this technology like in phones, in TVs, things like that, like widespread within the next 5 years, if not sooner.
I just don't know if I could watch that
all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if I could.
Yeah, it would be cool to have like an overlay or something, kind of like when like people have those for their glasses, those sunglasses that flip down.
Yeah,
you could have like the 3D flip down for your TV.
Sure,
that would be sweet.
Yeah, and it was awesome, and it was funny. Okay, when we walk around, so just so you guys know, like. When Nick and I are together, it seems like we work off of each other.
Right.
So
to get into this?
Yeah, so we walked up to the lady and we were like, oh, hey, what's this? And she's like, oh, do you guys want to see the demo? We were like, sure. She's like, wait in this line. And there were people like there, and I'm like, my impatience kicked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this. Let's just go in the van where they're doing whatever they're doing.
Right. And the tech demo guy was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Here, do this thing. Like, we'll register your badge. And he like blooped our PAX badges,
and the lady was like, they don't have a reservation. We're like, yeah, we do. And she's like, no,
he just said we can go in, whatever. And she's like, and long story short, it seemed like we flim-flammed him like with money, and just like all of a sudden got into the booth.
But
like in our defense, there was literally no one else in there.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were jam-packed full.
And so then we told him that, like, look we have a podcast and we'd like to talk to you. And he has an actual awesome soundbite. I am interested in this phone because of the technology.
Right.
Whether or not I buy this exact phone, because I have an iPhone.
Right.
And iPhone only has one phone.
Right.
So and it's always like 3 years back in technology.
Yeah.
But it works for the most part.
Right.
But the biggest thing is this phone was cool, man. I would totally get a phone like this if
you could like turn on the 3D and turn it off, kind of.
Well, yeah, because remember I asked him. I said, when your normal phone mode, is it in 3D? And he said no.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
only when you're doing the content that has it. But I look at it as, if I can't go to a movie theater and watch 3D movies,
yeah.
but if I can go to
Not your phone.
no, if I can play a game or watch a movie on my phone that's in 3D, or like watch a video in 3D, I'd be cool with that.
Right.
You know, you're not going to watch a whole movie on your phone, but the technology was there and it was pretty sweet.
I agree. So let's see what else we got. Oh, we saw some sweet controllers.
Oh man, this might be my favorite of the whole event.
Yeah. So there was a bunch of controller vendors, and we looked at all of them, but our favorite was, like, by far Evil Controllers, and we got to talk to, I believe, the president or owner?
President.
Who's Adam Koo?
Koo.
Yes.
Yes.
Adam Koo from Evil Controllers. If you want a modded controller of any kind, cosmetic mods or, like, legit performance mods, they had all kinds of crazy different stuff. They had, like, stuff for your analog sticks to increase the tension that, like, made it way better. It was like,
oh my god, it was amazing.
So we could, like, go and pick up the controllers, and then they also had a demo next door where you could go play, like, Call of Duty Black Ops 47 or whatever with the controller, and that was crazy. They also would shorten up your triggers on the controller so it was more clicky instead of, like, the long pull. So, like, when you pull the trigger, it was immediately shooting.
Yeah.
And they also, with the buttons, they'd shorten them up too, so it was like almost like a mouse click instead of, like, the longer press. And a bunch of different mods that I'm leaving out. Oh, also underneath the controller, there was paddles like that you could click. You can have, like, little buttons, or you could have, like, a larger paddle, because I don't know about you, but my pinky finger is not very articulate. So I need all the surface area I can get to press that button, which that was awesome. So they had all kinds of crazy stuff, and it was definitely, like, the best made modded controller that we saw at PAX. There was, like, 4 or 5 different vendors.
We went up to all of them. I mean, one of them was just stock controllers, and they just painted them sweet colors.
Yeah.
Another one, they painted them sweet, but they, like, did the tap triggers.
Yeah.
But nobody else had a pressure sensitive analog stick.
Yeah.
And man, so I was going to buy one right then and there.
Right.
And they didn't have one that wasn't the Apex Legends or Fortnite
like
edition, and I was like, I don't want an Apex Legends
like
or
the
Fortnite.
cosmetic paint on it. Yeah.
But so hoping Adam Koo can hook me up and help me get the controller of my dreams.
I'm sure you can get that.
Yeah, because the pressure sensitive part of it was unreal.
Oh, on the analog sticks.
Yes, when it almost felt like, you know, it's going to give you so much more control.
Right.
You're not going to be so choppy moving.
Yeah, because that's the biggest downfall. Like when you're on a console versus PC, like it's less precise with those thumbsticks. And some people are really precise, but like naturally, it doesn't come naturally like a mouse does.
Well,
but with these, it was much more natural to like point exactly where you wanted to, or like if you were trying to shoot at something that was moving, you wouldn't over like aim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get past them or anything like that.
I can't wait to get one of these in my hands and use it, because I was so impressed.
Yeah,
I was so impressed by it, and
they're all like handmade too, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I would take a traditional black one just with those the paddles on the bottom, the tap like triggers was unreal, and then the pressure sense. It was just
like
such a
analogs,
cool thing. Yeah, it was such an awesome thing. The only thing that worries me, and I know I'm going to kick myself in the ass for saying it, is when the controller dies.
Oh,
but
right.
they give you a 12-foot cable so it can charge while you're using it.
Right.
Problem solved.
Right. Yeah, but that would suck to go from like your awesome controller to back to your like stock one. You're
you couldn't. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't because that's how awesome those controllers were.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
So, what do you want to talk about next?
Well, my favorite game of the whole show.
Dude, mine too. So we got to preface this with
I don't play mobile games.
Yeah, you listen to the show. How many times have either of us ever talked about either a mobile game or a platformer? We've never talked about ever playing them because, frankly, neither of us like either of those. Neither of us like platformers. Neither of us like mobile games. And our favorite game of the entire show was both of those by a large margin.
Yeah.
Well, besides Mortal Kombat, but like that's a different category.
All right, so we're going to set the stage, okay? So we're walking through the show, and Nick's dad, his name is Norm.
Right.
And so I see this game, and it's called Norman's Night In. And I was like, dude. And Nick gets all excited, and he takes a picture of it.
Just a poster without even seeing what the game is.
Yeah, we didn't even care. So then we got there and started talking to the guy, and two people were getting up from playing this mobile game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
do I want to say? But do we really want to play this? Or like,
right.
It's a mobile game, whatever.
But
like our feet hurt, and they have these sweet exercise bouncy balls to sit on.
Are they the exercise ones or the pregnancy ones?
Like the pregnancy.
Because I'm a fat dude. I was worried about sitting on that thing. I was like, what if I pop this ball?
Right.
And I got on it. I'm bouncing it. And I'm like, man, I'm really pushing the air to the side of this thing. But whatever. I'm playing this game.
Yeah.
So Nick and I ended up playing this game the first time for like 30 minutes.
Easily.
And the whole thing is it's a platformer, and the guy has a bowling ball.
Right.
And you have to like...
You basically you put your finger, you touch the character.
They called it some kind of mechanic.
A slingshot.
Slingshot.
Yeah, so you touch the character, you slide your finger in the opposite direction of which way you want to fling, and then you let go, and he'll fling like the opposite direction. So kind of like a slingshot, you pull it back, and then it flings whatever in the opposite direction. So the original idea, I talked to the developers on Sunday after you weren't there.
Yeah.
So we went Friday, we played the game forever. We went Saturday, we played the game for
twice.
Oh no,
Saturday.
We went twice on Saturday. That's what it was. Twice on Saturday, and then I went back again on Sunday with Al to play. That's how much we liked it. So on the original premise for the game was, okay, they were doing a game jam, and they were coming up for, which is like something to the effect of like a 24-hour like make the best game you can in 24 hours contest type of thing. And they're like, okay, let's make a platformer, and this mechanic will be like, the guy like swings around a bowling ball and like gets flung forward or something in like a circle. So they didn't go with the circle thing. They went with a more straightforward like slingshot motion.
Yep.
But they kept the bowling ball, and then they designed the story about this old guy Norm who owns a bowling accessories shop because he loves to bowl, and then so that's what flings him is you drag the magic bowling ball back, and then it hits him, and he goes flying.
Right.
And that's how you move around the map.
Right.
But it was really cool. In this particular one, it's called Norman's Night In, and then this one was Norman's Night in the Cave. So you go through these caves, and you find power-ups, and you can double jump, and then you can triple jump, and you can get different bowling balls, and you can get different upgrades, and you gotta hit switches to like go through different areas. And I was totally engrossed, and I normally do not like platformers at all. I don't usually even like mobile games. So hats off to Norman's Night In. I believe they were saying the release date is in July, so I will definitely be getting it. Maybe we can get beta codes. We'll have to talk to the guys, but I'll definitely be looking for it, and it's definitely gonna be my go-to mobile game when I'm sitting around on the toilet or something. Or
I'm gonna have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because you're right. Like I don't play mobile games, but this game consumed me.
Yeah.
And I when I left, I still wanted to play more. And what was the best part is each section of we'll call it the challenge.
Yeah, the
'Cause
cave.
each part is its own challenge. So when you finish that challenge, it saves.
Right.
So that is the perfect poop game.
Oh, right. Yeah. So there's checkpoints all over the place.
Right.
So like there's levels, of course, but like within the level there might be like 6 checkpoints or something. So it's like sections for you to like figure out how to navigate through.
Right.
Which is cool. And it saves after each one exactly. So you can like do one like section of a level
Right.
and then save and then,
And
close
it's
your
so
phone.
much. And when I ended, I was getting the triple jump, and I guess hint I heard there's an infinite jump, which
Whoa.
must mean must make it crazy.
Yeah, you can like go
Jump forever.
Right.
And then the second time we came back, we started at the beginning, and the developer fast forwarded us to where we left off.
Right.
And that's where it really got intense, because like the puzzles started getting harder, and
Right.
it was awesome. Oh man.
I want to go play it. We gotta
Yeah,
we gotta see if we can get a beta or something.
or let us test it.
Right. I would love to just test it.
Yeah, well, I just want to play that game more and have it on my phone at all times.
So what other games did we play?
All right, so
Now that we hyped up
have you
Norman's Night.
have you ever heard of the game Myst? No, right?
I have heard of it. In full disclosure, I had not played it.
Okay, so the maker of Myst, Chuck Carter, he created he developed Myst and a bunch of other games, but he created his gaming studio, which is Eager Games, and this game is called Zed.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out for the Mac, PC, and Linux. Basically,
Chuck does a nice job of describing what the game is like in the soundbite, but the basic premise is it's a first-person game. It's kind of like WASD and for movement, and then your mouse to look around, and then you click objects to advance the story.
Right. So basically, the grandfather is dying, and he wants to make a book for his granddaughter.
Right, like a picture story book.
Correct. And then he wants to make a book, and then that
the granddaughter can read and sort of think.
Yeah,
and
and to leave each level, because it was a 10-minute demo.
Yep.
You had to almost move a big picture around and place it so it looks like there's a picture inside the apartment.
Yeah.
So you need it to match that, and I made it to the second or the third puzzle, and it was cool because you found little bits and pieces, and you got more story, and it was super chill and super relaxed, but the graphics were good, and I had fun playing it. So
I did too.
I'd like to play that more, and hopefully we can get Chuck or any of these developers on the show and talk about their games. Okay.
Marcus played a bit of two kind of ridiculous games. One slightly more ridiculous than the other. The first one that I played too, well, I played both of them, but the first one was actually pretty cool. It was called Dead End Job. It's a top-down WASD movement with mouse controlling sort of the directionality of where you shoot. And you're in this. So it's called Dead End Job because you're in an office setting, but you're fighting ghosts and dead ghouls or whatever. So haha, Dead End Job. And you'd shoot the ghosts or whatever. Oh, that was the one, the second game.
Yeah.
So you'd shoot the ghosts, and then that were around the office, and then you'd suck them up into a vacuum once you kind of stun the ghosts, and that's how you get points. And then you could shoot the office equipment, and money would pop out of the printer.
Oh yeah.
You'd grab the money, and then you'd destroy people's files, and you'd find whiskey in their desk or something.
Right, and it was just a fun game.
Yeah.
And again,
it was fun artwork.
Yeah, it was just again indie game, but fun. And so much potential to bring it to that next level in a game. The other one was called Space Cows.
This is probably the most... This and the Speech Simulator
All right, so
are the most ridiculous.
The definition of the game is an utterly cheesy fiction game.
It's called Space Cows.
Yeah.
So I think the premise is you play as a baby in space that has a fishbowl helmet on, basically, and the way you move around is by farting, and you just constantly fart around the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2D side scrolling, I believe it was, and I played for about 15 seconds and got through one level. But you're playing against these cows that are shooting milk at you or something, and they're all over the place, and you have to get to the giant fart machine or something at the end of the level. It was completely ridiculous.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the game, but it was ridiculous enough to where I wanted to make sure we talked about it today. Space Cows. The last game for me that me and Nick played was Monster Jam.
Monster Jam.
You remember the monster truck game?
Oh yeah, that was actually really cool.
So it was a typical car game, and
yeah,
you were a monster truck in an arena, and you got to run over cars and do a rollover, and you could be Gravedigger or whatever.
Yeah, and do donuts, and then like do a backflip and not.
Yeah, so I'm totally not buying that game, but for that 5 minutes that we got to play it, it was fun.
I agree. So I played a couple games that Marcus didn't. The first one is actually made by the same people that made that Dead End Job game. So it was called Colt Cowboy. This was fun. It's the same style, top-down 2D WASD movement, but this was 8-bit. So you had the WASD movement, and then the mouse was controlling the directionality of your attacks. You could melee or you could shoot, but the premise was you're playing as a cowboy who has to go rescue his girlfriend, and along the way you collect new guns and ammo. You sort of break the different boxes that stuff is in, and you have to fight against the Native American tribe that has kidnapped your girlfriend. Yeah, which was pretty cool. So it was a lot of browns and light tan colored landscape, and then if you were really low on health, you would bleed and have drops of blood running behind you, which that was kind of a cool detail. Also, the shooting was really gory. So if you shot somebody with the gun, they would go flying and have a puddle of blood splatter, which in a little 8-bit game is pretty intense. I thought it was fun. I probably played that for 20 minutes or so, and then I showed it to Al later as well. I enjoyed it. It's called Colt Cowboy. I believe it's on Steam now. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it is.
I'll have to go check that out. So the other game that I saw that Marcus did not. It was the demo booth for Days Gone, which is a zombie survival game. Not survival, more of a shooter, but it's third person. And it was by far the coolest and probably highest budget booth at PAX that I saw anyway. The wait for it was about an hour or so Marcus and I skipped it, but when Al came, we waited in line and played it. Let me give you the scenario of this crazy booth. So it was probably 50 feet by 100 feet of chain link fence on the outside with barbed wire on the top. And then, but it was all run down and rusty, post-apocalyptic looking. And every so often there'd be wooden fence interjected in the chain link. And on one corner, there's probably a 10 by 20 section that's chain link fenced off on the inside too, and in there was all these fake dead bodies piled up, and then 3 actors in full Walking Dead zombie apparel, and I swear they must have worked on the show because they were acting just like the Walking Dead zombies and spanging on the fence and scaring people that walked by. And then there was a poster on the fence draped over it that said Days Gone, the title of the game. But there was a hole in the fence underneath the poster, so the zombies could reach through the poster and grab people that were walking by. It was awesome. I got a photo with Al, almost getting bit by the zombie. But the game itself was really cool. There was 2 modes. It was a story mode where you had to go into this zombie infested area and get some supplies out of a garage, and you could either sneak your way in or shoot your way through if you wanted to, but the ammo was kind of limited, so that was tough. There was a second game mode too, which was a horde mode, so it was you and 300 of these zombies, but it was pretty realistic because if you shot them in the abdomen or something, they wouldn't die. You had to, and the ammo was kind of limited. I actually didn't get to that one, but I saw Al did. I just died in the story mode. Because I was afraid of the zombies in real life that were right next to me. But it was really challenging because ammo was a factor and you had to actually run away from them. And it was cool to have that third person perspective. I think it's a really cool game. I'll probably end up buying it. And I think you should too, if you're into that. Days Gone, it was pretty epic. I don't need, they don't need me to pump it up.
No.
It's obviously
people are so pumped up for this game, but I'm not a big survival horror.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Right.
But either way, next year I'm looking forward to PAX East.
Me too. I think it's a staple for
Well, no, it has to be, but what I'm really looking forward to is growing as our podcast grows and like being able to, hopefully we can get some of these developers to pop on the game and on our show and talk about more about their game because they can explain it so much better than us.
Yeah.
And almost, I would love to be able to, get my hands on some of these games as soon as they're released because we did have fun. Really, truly. I want that Norman's Night In game.
I do too.
We
got to play it.
Yeah.
All right, so take a listen to. We'll toss in the sound bites from all the developers here. They can describe their games a lot better than us. But
for that, I'm Marcus,
and I'm Nick.
What's your name?
Nick Iorfino.
What's the game?
It's Norman's Night In.
All right, and tell me about it.
So it's a Metroidvania platformer about a shopkeeper, his bowling ball, and a fateful fall into the world of Cave.
Awesome.
Yeah, you use slingshot mechanics to solve puzzles, do platforming challenges.
Awesome. When does the game come out?
Early summer. Yeah.
And what will the platform be?
It'll be for iOS, Android, and then also on Steam for PC and Mac.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Charles Park. I'm a senior producer with Adult Swim Games, here to promote Death's Gambit. Death's Gambit is a side-scrolling 2D action-adventure title from the development team at White Rabbit, who are two young men from USC who took an idea and expanded it out to this brutal combat world. So I'm here with Skybound, who's the co-publisher for the PS4 version of the game, who we're working with them to do a physical release of the game, and that will release this summer.
Awesome, thank you.
The name of the game.
All right, go.
Name's Matthew Cox. The name of the game is Lost Islands by Jolly Roger, and it's not doesn't have a confirmed release date. The beta keys are going to become active in around a month. And tell you a little about the game.
Yes,
so it's like a battle royale. Instead of the standard objective of killing everyone, your objective is to accumulate gold and spend it on your boat fare to get off the island. And you can collect gold in a variety of ways. You can collect treasure, find it just on the floor, and you can kill other players and steal their gold.
So if you want to survive but you don't want to kill anybody, you, in a sense, could win the game by not killing us all.
You could run a pacifist run. You could totally win without killing anyone.
All right, and do you level up throughout the match?
You collect gear, so like there's armor, there's weapons, some are better than others. But you don't like level up in the like RPG sense.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What's your name?
Hey, my name is Vlad. I'm from another indie, and we're the publishers of Vigil the Longest Night, which is a small indie game from Taiwan. It's a 2D side-scroller Metroidvania game. Very difficult, so similar to Salt and Sanctuary, Dark Souls vibe-ish, and a little bit with a touch of eldritch horror.
The premise of the game is
that, you wake up, you arrive in the town, and one day the sun never came up again, so it's a perpetual, endless night. And once you proceed through the game, you start unraveling what actually happened.
Great.
So first you encounter, like your basic bats, some slime, some zombie villagers, and as you progress through the game more, the eldritch part starts coming out, with these otherworldly monstrosities, tentacly monsters, but also werewolves, ghosts.
perfect. And would you say it's an RPG?
There are RPG elements, like there's a leveling system, there's different armor upgrades, different types of armor, different weapons.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. So my name's Tim Miller. I'm actually a regional manager for Red Hydrant, and today we're at PAX EAST showcasing our groundbreaking technology. So it's the world's first 4-view compatible media machine. So it's an Android smartphone. So it has everything you would expect from a high-end Android smartphone, and then it has this amazing 4-view display technology. So it's better than 3D without glasses. And so we have gaming applications. There's different apps that take advantage of it, and then you can capture, record, and view amazing pictures and videos, all in 3D without glasses.
And it's available now on what?
Yeah, so it launched on November 2nd for Verizon and AT&T corporate doors. And then there's also an open market version on our website, h4v.com, so you can pop in any GSM-compatible SIM card, and it'll work.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Here's business cards.
What's your name?
Steve Zimmerman.
And what's the game?
The game is the Endless Mission.
Tell me about it.
The Endless Mission is where players are going to be able to go behind the scenes of like video games itself into a open world sandbox creation game where you're playing through multiple video game genres in new styles. And then while you're playing them, you have the ability to hack the environments, hack the AI, hack and slash your way through waves of enemies, and kind of create the game that it is that you want it to be, and then share that out with your friends as well. All underlying a big meta story that explains why you're there and doing the things that you're doing.
Awesome. When does the game come out? And what platform?
The game's going to be out on PC, and we should have the early access sometime early July of this year.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right on, man. Hey.
Okay, my name is Chuck Carter. I'm founder of Eager Games. We have a game called Zed, and it's a game that's we call a narrative adventure game. And it's about a man who's dying and he has dementia, and you have to help him finish a children's book for a granddaughter he'll never meet. He's sort of doing this because he wants to have sort of, a legacy to leave behind. Yeah. And the gameplay essentially means you get into his dreams and help him reconnect his memories to be able to finish that goal.
Awesome. When does the game come out?
We're looking for the next 2 months.
Okay, and what platform?
It'll be Mac, PC, and or PC primarily, Macintosh and Linux, and we're going to be doing Oculus and Vive.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
My name is Adam Coe, and I'm the president of Evil Controllers.
And tell me about your controller.
Our controllers are enhanced gaming controllers designed to improve your gameplay competitively, casually, and also for accessible gamers.
And what controllers do you offer?
We offer enhanced PlayStation and Xbox One controllers.
Awesome. Now, what would make you say your controller stands out above all the rest of the modded controllers?
Not only the customization cosmetically, but a lot of the internal enhancements that give you a competitive edge. Our shift paddles, our sensitive buttons, allowing you to actuate inputs faster, our Pro Tension increasing your aim and control over the thumbsticks. So an array of add-ons that are designed to improve your gameplay.
Awesome. One last thing, where can they find your products?
evilcontrollers.com.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.